most important thing in life will always be family. The people right here, right now.
Dominic Toretto. You don't know me. You're about to.
Looks like the sins of London have followed us home.
Remember Owen Shaw? This is his big bad brother.
We're being hunted.
I'm going with you.
One last ride.
Daddy's gotta go to work.
This takes crazy to a whole nother level.
What's up now? What's up now? Hold it down like what's up now?
All right, what's up, my man?
Good.
I gotta know, cause I gotta pick your brain on this, cause I love the movie. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Best thrill ride I've been on in a long time, man. You did your thing.
Thank you.
I'm just
Thank
gonna
you.
put it out there like that. You did your thing as a director, man. I think you're good at this.
I think so. I should maybe continue trying this.
But tell me this though, your background was primarily in horror. So what did you bring from that genre to add to this genre to pull this off in Furious 7?
Well, what I learned in the sort of low budget world where I came from is how to be creative. Like how to be creative with my shots and how to how to find ways around things if things are not working. And even though this is a much bigger movie and I can pretty much have whatever I want in it, but I still think it's great to not lose sight of what makes you a filmmaker. And I think it's important as an artist to be. To be as creative as you could, with the way you design your shots and your scenes.
So what are the similarities between action and horror, and what are the biggest differences?
Well, I mean, one of the things I definitely tried to bring to Furious 7 that I learned on my horror thrillers is how to create tension and suspense, and so I tried to put a lot of those stuff into my action sequences, so I try to make my action scenes suspenseful. For example, the one I always use is the bus dangling over the edge of the cliff,
right.
and then Paul Walker's character has to try and climb out, and climb on top and run across it before the whole thing falls off the edge. That kind of stuff. It's very, it's my love for old school Spielberg, my love for old school Hitchcock as well, and so I try to bring some of that into this franchise.
Now tell me this, because you referenced Paul Walker had an untimely death in 2013. What did you have to change, and how devastating was that in the process of completing the movie?
It was with a lot of heavy heart, when that happened, and the shock really took us, it really did hit us in a very big way, and after the initial shock and emotional heartache of what happened, the next thing that became apparent for us was, how are we going to finish this movie without Paul around? How can I finish this movie without one of my lead movie stars in it? And so we took time off and we went back and we reassess the situation and we evaluate whether or not we can finish this movie without him. And ultimately what we came to the conclusion of is that we have to finish this movie. We have to finish this movie for Paul.
How much had been finished?
How much has been shot?
How much had been finished before?
I had only shot with Paul up to a certain point, and Paul was so integral in this movie that there was still a fair bit of stuff that we have not done with him yet, and so it became a big challenge. We had to look at the movie that we had shot so far, and then go, what do we need to do to go back and to finish this film as seamlessly as we possibly could, so that it leads towards the end farewell, the end send-off, and so it doesn't feel like Paul was missing at all in this movie. And that was the biggest challenge, I think, for me. I always said, people don't ultimately know how monumental it was to land this burning plane, so to speak.
Is this the end, or can you give me some breaking news? Will there be more?
What I say is, I think this is a franchise that will never end.
I love it.
Thank you.
Great job, man.
Thanks,
Job well
man.
done. Thanks a lot.